All right, welcome back. I hope you took the time to observe those little details that I shared with you. And I hope you got a real familiarity now with watching people's skin color and skin tonus, the tone of the muscles, watching the shifts that occur and maybe the shine on the skin, maybe their lower lip size. Notice how their breathing changes, especially the breathing. The breathing is so important. It gives you so much leverage because we, meaning all of us, we don't pay attention to our breathing during the day. We don't pay attention when we talk, when we're focusing on something, when we do certain activities. We don't pay attention how our breathing is. Yeah, so this is something that's very much out of consciousness. But I hope you got familiar with watching their eyes, watching other things. And by the way, you can notice now bigger things. These are very subtle, but also bigger things that happen with their bodies. Sometimes maybe they slump forward. Maybe sometimes their head tilts. It's not accidentally. Yeah, maybe sometimes they slump in the chair, and sometimes maybe they straighten and they stand up like this in the chair. Sometimes indeed, maybe their arm crossed. Don't assess and don't be in a rush to say, oh, their arm crossed. I heard this so many times. I want to caution you. That means they're closed. Well, honestly, sometimes it simply means that they don't have what to do with their arms. Maybe they don't sit in a chair that has support for the arms, and they don't know what to do with their arms. And maybe just holding them in their lap doesn't work for them. So for me, personally, sometimes it's just uncomfortable. I'm actually extremely comfortable like this. Not only that I'm not closed. This is a thing that I'm just very comfortable. So I could chat like this with friends and, just scratch if I need to or something. But I'm not closed. I actually love holding my hands this way. But that's for me. Does that mean that that's true for you? No. Does that mean that it's true for everybody? No. It means that you observe what state they're in when they do that. Notice their legs, if they cross their legs, if they stretch their legs, if they are tense in the chair, if they are relaxed, and all of that. But this is macro, this is big things that easy to notice. Even as Aga says in the video that started all this, notice, Boris Becker sticking his tongue out or licking his lip up in the middle of the mouth or to the left. They're still big. It's still big. What we're learning here and what I hope you practice are very subtle differences that will make you an absolute master, by the way, because most of the people don't notice this at all. And it makes it fun in communicating because you know exactly what that person's state is. Now, people usually ask me here, does that mean that we can observe? There is a certain set that tells us when a person lies. The people that are doing behavior, observation in behavioral skills, they will tell you yes, but I wanted to realize that don't confuse marketing with reality. They're very well trained as that officer in the immigration with me to calibrate truth versus false. Because they know that although there are some general rules, each individual is different. And so they are calibrating, meaning what? As I described to you, they ask some questions that they know they're true. Like your name is so-and-so. That's true. Maybe your age, maybe your telephone number, and so on and so forth. These are things that are true. And then they ask you a question that they know it's false for you. And then they notice the difference. Here is the skill. That's the real skill that if you practiced what I shared with you before, you are just about ready to implement that skill. And so here is the easiest way to implement that skill. But first of all, I hope you practiced all this and you know exactly, you've become really, really well acquainted with noticing this. And I say again, notice the breathing. It's so important. So far, we learned what to observe. Now let's see how to apply it. What do you do with this? Get the person you're talking to tell you something about a subject that they really like, something that they're really, really passionate about. Not mildly, not kind of, sort of. They can talk about a food they really like, a place they really like, a person, about something they really, really, really like. They love you. You can see they are absolutely passionate, and a hobby maybe, their child, and so on and so forth. Okay? And as they talk about this, pay attention. What will you pay attention to? Well, the skin color, dark to light, the skin tonus, the tone of the muscle, the shine, the symmetry in the face. Also notice, what else did we say? The lower lip size, the breathing, is it high up in the chest? Is it low in the belly? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it fast? Is it slow? How are they breathing? Yeah, and also, how are their eyes? Are their eyes, is the person, even that, is the person looking in all directions all the time like this? That means there's a lot of tension in the little muscles, because you have to keep the eyes going, right? Or are they kind of like mellow and the eye muscles are relaxed, and the person maybe even defocuses if they talk to you about a place they loved so much. Maybe they are visualizing their place, as they describe it to you. But all of that, whatever they do, you're going to notice. Are the eyes focused or defocused? Are the pupils dilated or not? Okay? So notice all that. Good. So that's a thing. You notice. And then after they finished, give them a moment and then ask them to tell you something, to talk about the subject, or stir the conversation in such a way that they talk about the subject they just dislike. No, but not mildly dislike. They really, really, really dislike. They just don't like them. And notice the difference. And don't notice the difference in terms of, of course they don't like, they're going to talk with the bad words. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to look again at their, skin color, as they talk about that subject they don't like, skin tonus, the shine, same things. And then notice the difference between the two. That's the easiest way to begin the act of comparison that I share with you. It's called in NLP calibration. So it's this act of comparison. And if you can do this in practice until you do it unconsciously, you'll absolutely become a master of communication, because despite the polite lip service that you might get sometimes, you'll figure out what is really going on in the state of the person you're talking to, as well as you notice when, as I said, there is boredom or confusion or anything else, and it's kind of like, get the clue, and then you stir your communication or your behavior accordingly. I tell you, if you really manage to do this, there are business situations, I can't even think of one context in life where this is not useful. And if you'd like to learn more about this, we teach all of this in much more detail in conjunction with other simple skills and techniques during our NLP practitioner training. And we advance this really to an art and masterful skill in the NLP Master Practitioner Training. These things together, and before I finish, just want to say one more thing. If you're doing any type of coaching, counseling, even if you are a licensed practitioner, your ability to notice without guessing, I'm saying this over and over and over again, because this is the big thing. If you're able to notice without guessing what's the state the person you're talking to is in, your results will be masterfully. In fact, in NLP, there is nothing we can do until we learn sensory acuity. You do timeline therapy, how are you going to know when the person has let go of the negative emotion? You do an anchoring process. How are you going to know if the person is in the state you want to anchor? How are you going to know? You want to get in rapport, something as simple as getting in rapport or out of rapport with the person. How are you going to know whether you're in rapport or not? This is the basis of all things. It's a simple thing. Sensory acuity is not different. Observing other people to this minute detail is not a big thing. It's just your willingness to pay attention to this for, as I said, 3 days. Take it one at a time and be successful with this, because it will give you an edge. It will give you a big edge compared to other people who don't notice anything. I hope this has been useful, and I hope to see you sometime in one of our trainings. Be well, my friends.